truth begins to whisper. And what it says is not sweet. It's not sugar-coated. It's not inspirational or poetic. It's brutal. And it says, no one is coming. No one is checking on you. No one sees the slow breakdown behind your eyes. And even if they do, they look away. Not because they hate you, but because they can. That's the moment you realize just how alone you truly are. Not in the physical sense, but in the emotional, spiritual, existential abyss kind of way. You might be standing in a crowd. You might be in a relationship. You might be surrounded by family. And still, you feel like a ghost. Like you're present, but fading. Visible, but unseen. Alive, but unacknowledged. You could be a teenager trying to understand why your parents don't hear your silent screams. You could be 25, surrounded by fake smiles and plastic friendships, wondering if anyone actually knows you. You could be 40, with a spouse who sleeps beside you but doesn't feel you anymore. You could be 60, and realize the friends you grew up with now speak in past tense. It doesn't matter how old you are. This realization doesn't check your birth date before it hits you like a cold wave. And once it does, everything changes. You, sitting in the rubble of expectations. You, standing in the ashes of old narratives. You, holding the broken mirror that once reflected your old identity. The one that relied on being loved to feel real. You, surrounded by silence. But this silence is not empty. It's full of memories and echoes. The echo of I'll always be here for you. The echo of I understand you. The echo of laughter that now feels like betrayal in disguise. And those echoes bounce around inside you until they don't hurt anymore. Until they evolve. Until they transform. Because this silence, as brutal as it is also your rebirth. It's the death of illusion. The death of dependency. The death of the version of you who believed they needed to be saved. And this is where it begins. This moment, this quiet, terrifying, unbearable silence, is not the end. It's the start of the most important transformation you'll ever go through. It's the beginning of learning how to stand on your own, hear your own voice without needing applause, cry without shame. Burn without begging for rescue. Because what breaks you today is the same thing that will build the invincible version of you tomorrow. 1. They weren't your friends. You were filling a role. When the dust settles and you finally look with clear eyes, you'll see. They liked the version of you that made them comfortable. They liked you when you agreed, when you entertained, when you played the part they cast you in. But the moment you showed emotion, the moment you struggled, the moment you needed something back, they vanished. That wasn't friendship. That wasn't love. That was conditional access. You didn't lose real people. You lost false masks. That's a gift. Ghost. He ruled the world, but felt alone in his own court. His own wife may have betrayed him. His own son was a disgrace. His friends, manipulators. But he wrote this in Meditations. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. To think, to enjoy, to love. He wasn't numb. He was clear. He saw suffering as part of the divine order, and rather than demand comfort, he embraced the weight of the world with calm fire. That's what you must do. 5. Seneca. The philosopher who was ordered to die. Seneca was betrayed by the emperor he helped raise, Nero. On the day Nero demanded his death, Seneca slit his own wrists in front of his family, but did so calmly, like he was just washing his hands. Why? Because he was already free. He had built a soul that could not be touched. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. You don't need revenge, you need to outgrow what hurt you. Become it. 4. Become self-sustaining emotionally. You must learn to praise yourself. Forgive yourself. Push yourself. Calm yourself. Because no one else will do it. And once you stop expecting it, you become dangerous, in the best way. You're standing at the edge now. The old you, dependent, fragile, hopeful, is dying. You see the world now. You see that. Some people only loved you when you were silent. Some relationships were built on your self-erasure. Some friends were only there to take. And yet, you are still here, standing, breathing, seeing clearly for the first time. There comes a moment, not when you're saved, but when you stop needing to be. You realize you were never put on this earth to be rescued. Not by friends, not by lovers, not by parents, not by fate, not by God. You were meant to burn, to collapse, and then rise, to be abandoned, and still stand, to be unseen, and still shine. You were meant to walk through the kind of fire that melts illusions, scorches weakness, and incinerates every false identity you ever wore just to be accepted. You were built for this crucible, because not everyone was made to rise from ashes, but you were, becoming your own damn sun. You don't need to orbit anyone anymore. You are not someone's moon, quietly reflecting borrowed light. You are not someone's backup warmth when their skies turn cold. You are the damn sun now. Unignorable, undeniable, unstoppable. You generate your own heat. You radiate from your own core. You don't beg to be seen. Your existence demands it. Your glow is no longer a gift handed out in hopes of being loved. It's a force of nature, and if it blinds the ones who betrayed you, let it. You weren't born to dim. The loneliness wasn't your enemy. It was your midwife. You used to fear being alone. You used to feel the ache like it was punishment. You thought silence was proof that something was wrong with you. But now you see it. The loneliness didn't come to destroy you. It came to deliver you. Because in that silence, in that cold, in that absence, you discovered something no one else could give you yourself. You found the parts of you that don't need permission to exist. The strength that doesn't ask to be understood. The calm that doesn't require noise. The power that doesn't flinch under pressure. Loneliness wasn't the grave. It was the womb. You weren't buried. You were planted. And now you grow flames. The world owes you nothing, and that's your freedom. The world doesn't owe you kindness. It doesn't owe you fairness. It doesn't owe you apology, closure, or clarity. It doesn't owe you support, forgiveness, or even understanding. And the minute you stop expecting it to, the minute you stop begging for people to give you what they were never capable of, you become limitless. You stop living life like it's You are not broken. You are battle-forged. You are not bitter. You are awake. You are not alone. You are undeniably you.